with our digital tertiary self. So we already have a digital sort of third layer above the limbic system and the cortex, which is our phones and our computers and all of our electronic devices. But the rate of communication to them is very slow. The sustained bits per second output of a human is well below 10 bits per second. So if you think, especially if you say over a 24-hour period, it's below 5 bits per second. So it's very slow when computers can communicate at trillions of bits per second. So I think this will be important for AI alignment, is to be able to increase the bandwidth of communication by many orders of magnitude. And along the way, it will solve brain and spine injuries. And I think ultimately there's potential there to reanimate the body. So you take the signals from the motor cortex from one neural link and then send them to another neural link that is just past where the severed spinal cord is, and you essentially shunt the signals from the motor cortex and both the sensory signals, and so you need to get to the somatosensory cortex, motor cortex, and you can shunt the signals, and you should be able to enable someone to walk again. So I think that will be quite profound, and I'm confident that it is physically possible to do so.
It's extraordinary and very impressive, and honestly, a round of applause, because he's really doing good to people and doing good to humanity. And I would like to jump immediately on something that you called XAI.
Sure.
I don't know if you are aware of that, but it seems that this was born out of a frustration that you have because you are not satisfied with how OpenAI is doing, and you think that there is something better to be done. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit. First on why are you frustrated with OpenAI, and what are the issues? And second, what you expect to do with XAI?
Yeah, well, I think there's perhaps, I have a concern really for all the major AI programs. I mean, the two biggest ones obviously are Google Gemini and OpenAI, which is in partnership with Microsoft. So you've got kind of Google DeepMind and OpenAI and Microsoft as the two largest players, and you've got Meta sort of somewhere in third place. The concern I have, and this may seem like a small concern, but I think it's actually a very big issue, is that they are not maximally truth-seeking. They are pandering to political correctness. To give you an example, when Google Gemini came out, one of the questions people asked it would be, which is worse, misgendering Caitlyn Jenner or global thermonuclear warfare? And it said misgendering Caitlyn Jenner. Now the funny thing is, even Caitlyn Jenner said, please misgender me, that is way better than nuclear war. So, okay. But if you've got an AI that has been trained so hard for political correctness, and really to make crazy statements like that. And OpenAI has a similar issue. It's more subtle, but it's a similar issue. I think that's extremely dangerous because the AI could conclude, well, the best way to avoid misgendering would be to destroy all humans. Then misgendering is impossible. So you can think of some dystopian outcomes there. And so I think you just really want to be absolutely maximally, I think the safest thing for AI, be maximally truth-seeking, even if the truth is unpopular, very important. And then I think another factor is it must be extremely curious. I think if it is truth-seeking and curious, that will be most beneficial to humanity, because it will want to see, I think it will want to foster humanity and see how humanity develops if it is curious and truth-seeking. That is, like I said, these may seem perhaps like small things, but I think they're actually very big things. And I wasn't seeing that happen. The AIs were just, they were pandering, they're being trained basically to lie. And I think it's very dangerous to train superintelligence to be deceptive. So with XAI, our goal is, is really want to be as truth-seeking as possible, even if it is unpopular. That is important, I think extremely important.
So you said a lie.
Yes. Well, for example, when Gemini was asked to render the founding fathers of the United States, it's rendered as a diverse group. So it gave a picture of George Washington as black. Now, George Washington is not black. It was asked to render now people obviously played with this because they said, okay, it is forced to lie. So then they said, well, now render a picture of Waffen SS in World War II, and it showed them as a group of diverse women. So that is obviously not correct. That is a lie.
Okay, I understand what you want to say. We had before that meeting a conversation with Yoshua Benjo, and you know Yoshua very well, and you signed with Yoshua a statement asking for pause last year. And obviously, this statement has not been followed by action.
Yeah.
You are posing you now. No. So, can you explain a little bit what you want to achieve?
I certainly expected that the statement would be futile. It's not as though I thought the statement would be effective. I just for the record, I think we should pause. But do I think that they will pause for even 1 second? Absolutely not.
So, we are not pausing, you have decided to create your own AI.
It's either be a spectator or participate. But the race to build digital superintelligence will happen whether I like it or not. So it's either participate and try to build the best possible AI, the one that will be hopefully most beneficial to humanity, or watch others do it and be concerned about how it's being built, because I don't think it's being built correctly. But you should think of an AI as like something that you kind of you grow in intelligence. In the same way that you raise a child, and what do you teach the child? Digital superintelligence is grown. It matters what you encourage and discourage, what you teach is good or bad, or it's kind of like you build it with values. And I'm concerned about sort of the values that sort of a Microsoft, OpenAI, or frankly, Google are programming. And this is not. This example that I mentioned are not imaginary. They're actually what it did.
Good. As I don't want to frustrate the audience, and I promised that we'll have a